Two. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Muscle and Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Dave Brace, and today I have the honor of having my boy all the way out from the other side of the pond. Well, not the same pond, but like across the border in Canada, Coach Tyler Mackey. What's up, man? How are you? Dude, all good, all good. Let's see. I'm not sure right now if you can hear me. Can you hear me? I think I lost you there for a second. I don't know what's happening with your mic. I can hear you.
Okay, there we go.
I hear you now.
That was weird. I got kicked off the Instagram.
All right, maybe just go live on your side on your own Instagram, and I'll just keep on mine because
I think it's because I tried to connect headphones, but they connected to my
computer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're live again. We're good. So, guys, what's going on? Tyler and myself, we work with the same group of people. We help women change their lives, get in their best shape ever when it comes down to understanding mind, body, and everything in between. So today, what we're going to talk about, it's a topic that is very touchy when it comes to, chasing your fitness journey, a certain look, a certain goal, because sometimes, most of the time, your spouse is not as supportive as you will want him to be. And this is, concerning men and women. We coach women, but the husband is not always in full support of this because, guys, I'm a husband. Tyler has a kid. We understand how insecure men are when it comes to certain things. When you see that your wife or your spouse, your girl, whatever, your side piece, they're trying to get to this next level of self-development, and you're really not committed to change your life, you are most of the time the biggest wall that they face when they're trying to get to the next level. Tyler, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, 100%, man. It's like we always say, the power of proximity, right? It's like I can't count enough times how many people I've spoke to that, they want to get started, they want to get into their journey, and then if they don't have that support system at home, well, a lot of time, like 9 times out of 10, especially if somebody does want to start on a fitness journey, but they don't have the other person, their spouse, whatever, that it's in the same kind of idea, man, they're trying to order the pizzas, they're trying to have the extra beers, the wine nights, and then they're trying to follow the meal prep. It just doesn't work a lot of time, right? So it's finding that balance and making sure that whoever you are surrounding yourself with, they have to be on the same vision or at least support yours, right?
Exactly. And it's it hurts me and it hurts you because we see the struggles. We see that I don't feel good about myself. I don't like the way I look after having 1, 2, 3, 4 kids. I just literally don't like anything about myself, but my husband doesn't see, or he doesn't understand the way I feel, simply because he doesn't have a period. He wasn't pregnant. He didn't have a C-section. He's not dealing with the scars from surgery, right? And it just hurts me to see women go down to their lowest point simply because their partner and is not supportive enough. Or you simply could say, you know what? Let me try this shit with you for 12 weeks. Let's see what the hype is all about. If you don't show me your 100%, I'm done. But they're not putting in the effort to show the way I look at it to their queen, the amount of partnership that you need in order to get to this happy place, to the promised land of feeling good about yourself, So
yeah, no, I completely agree with you, man. I think it's really important to when we're looking at this kind of thing, I always explain to women, especially when somebody, let's say we're having a consultation, okay, well, I need to talk to my husband a little bit. And I always comes down to, okay, no one knows what you're going through. Maybe your husband knows this. I want to lose 30 pounds. Maybe he knows, okay, I want to grow my booty. Maybe I'm not as confident as I used to be after having kids, whatever. He knows that, but he doesn't know that's the surface level. He doesn't know how it feels when you look in the mirror. He doesn't know how it feels when you're trying on new clothes. He doesn't know how it feels when, you know, you're taking pictures and you have to put your daughter, your son in front of you to try and like cover up your stomach. He doesn't know those things. And the thing is like, I don't know either. You don't know either, right? So there's some dark, like deep secrets that a lot of these women have, that it's deep insecurities that they're struggling with. And like, it's not fair if they don't have that support system. But at the same time, we also need to make sure they have that communication there and they explain how deep and how important this actually is to them, right?
Yeah. So for example, I'm gonna share a client's story. Of course, I'm not gonna say who she is, but we started working together about 3 months ago. And it took her a full year to get her husband to say, you know what? Sure, pay $350 to this weird guy from the internet to help you feel good about yourself, right? And it was just the constant, I don't want to eat this food. I want to eat pizza. Well, I don't know if you can pay next month because we don't have money, when he is going out every Saturday and golfing, buying the beer, buying all this different shit that costs $350. So that's just, you know, that's the beginning of the story, right? But, you know, we checked in last Thursday and I got this message that said, for the first time in 6 years, I feel beautiful. Like, dude, that was just like let's go. And, you know, you get the same messages because, guys, by the way, we work with the same people, right? And it just feels good to be able to help a mom get to this level of, you know, security and self-love that allows her to do anything she wants because she's confident in herself.
100%, man. I think the biggest quote that really stuck with me when I actually first started in my business was, you know, our mentor, we actually shared a similar mentor, right? And one of the things he said to me is like, it's your job isn't necessarily to like handhold, to babysit everybody. Your job is to believe in your clients so much that they start to believe in themselves, right? And I think that's the big missing key here, right? That's the spot that everybody misses out on. It's like, okay, we're thinking so much. What's the next meal plan? What's the next, you know, program, the next workout that I need to do, the next fancy booty band, cable, kickback, whatever the hell. It's like, it's not about finding this like new fancy style or this new kind of diet. A lot of time it's just like, you don't believe in yourself enough to stick to it. And if you do get that little, like, you know, once in a while, you'll get that emotion, something will spark that interest in you where you're like, you know, now is the time I need to make this change. Enough is enough. I have enough belief in myself that I can actually think it's at least possible to make this change. And then if you don't have that support system, when you go and you're so excited, you're hey, you know, honey, just come home from work. Hey, I'm so excited. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm talking to this coach tomorrow. And then it gets shut down. Well, why are you doing that? You know, it hasn't worked for you in the past. I can teach you. I used to work out in high school. I know what I'm doing. Like, you
made a video. You made a video. Oh, I don't know, probably like, I don't know, if it was 2 years ago. Dude, it was fucking great. It's like,
the husband,
just to put this into perspective, not because you play college ball and, you know, football, basketball, whatever, and you were in good shape because you were an athlete, gives you the knowledge, the power, any kind of understanding on how the women's body work, right? There are hormones, right, that we don't have. There is a thing called your menstrual period that we don't have, that you don't know how to manipulate or how to move things around it because you don't deal with it, right? So, and dude, what you said is so true. You know, girl comes home super excited because she's going to talk to Tyler Maggie tomorrow, and he's the coach for, you know, the women that want to get in shape, and she's like super thrilled about the consultation. And here comes, you know, little Dick John to say, you know what, you don't need that. You don't need that. You're beautiful. Of course you're beautiful. You marry me. Like, I'm going to be beautiful forever, no matter if I weigh 700 pounds. You know, what matters is what's inside, right within, like the soul. Yep. That is the most important part when it comes to, you know, to you and your partnership and your husband and your spouse, whatever you have, your side piece. But without physical health, it's very, very difficult to achieve mental health, and vice versa. You cannot get physical health without mental health. And it takes two to make a marriage work. Right, guys. We're not marriage counselors. We're just talking about, how important the support from your partner is when you're just now starting your fitness journey after whether having a kid or multiple kids or just going through a rough patch in your life, and it's important to understand that having an accountability partner, somebody who says, you know what, good job, keep going, is going to be crucial for your journey.
100%. That kind of reminded me, my client made a post in our group the other day, and she was talking about her husband. She just recently got married like a week. I think she's watching right now, so I'm not gonna say her name, but you guys see you on Instagram. About a week ago, she made a post and she's saying she got recently married, right? And she's saying, like, my husband's like, he's very supportive. He loves me to like death. And he says that I'm beautiful no matter like what size, like what size I am, however much I like, how I look, whatever. He's going to love me regardless, unconditionally. And she's like, it's weird that I feel the way I do right now, but it's like, I love that he has that support. But at the same time, I want him to realize that like, I'm grateful that he loves me no matter what. But I still want more for myself, and I want him to be able to see that and support my vision, not just support me from where I'm at, not just be comfortable with where I'm at because I'm not comfortable. She's like, maybe, he tells me that he thinks I'm beautiful and I love that, but right now I don't feel beautiful, and that's what I need to work on. And it's like when we kind of look at it that perspective, I think I'll be honest, like I've done this in relationships before too, where I'm like, I think as men, a lot of us are more like with the masculine energy, we're very like stats and like very like problem solving focused, right? And it's sometimes we need to take a step back and think like, let's hear it from from our wife, our girlfriend's perspective, and like let's actually hear the emotion that they're experiencing right now, like what's actually going on internally, because a lot of time it's a lot different. We're looking at, okay, she wants to lose 20 pounds, and it's like it's the big quote that sticks with me all the time is like, it's not about the weight that you lose, but it's the life that you gain as a result of it, right? And it's like a lot of these men don't understand that, like, okay, when your wife starts feeling a little bit happier, she starts feeling more confident. Like this is gonna be good for her, but it's gonna be good for you too. You're going on dates, you're dressing up, you guys are having better sex in the bedroom. Like everything is better now as a result of it, right?
That's you just fucking nailed it. You hit it right in the head. What we're gonna get a bit physical here. What is one of the most important parts in marriage? Sex.
Yeah. Like
the connection, the physical connection that you have with your spouse, right? You can tell your wife that you're beautiful, but you're looking, I'm a husband. You have a girlfriend, right?
What's that?
Yeah. You have a girlfriend.
No, right now I'm single.
Oh, you're single. Ladies, attack. All right, but anyways, you've had a girlfriend.
Of course.
You can tell your wife that you're beautiful. Man, listen up. But you're saying it because you love her from within. But if she's not looking the way the 22-year-old is looking, that you're looking at the gym all the time and you look like the creeper, it's your fault because you don't support her. This is going to get people upset, but this is the truth.
100%.
Like, man, look here. Man, look. And if you're looking elsewhere, it's because you what you see at home is not what you love.
Yeah.
And if your wife is not happy about herself physically, you got to do something about it. You're her partner. Of course, you got to say, you look beautiful. You're amazing. Of course she is. She's the most beautiful woman you'll ever see because you fell in love with her soul, with her person, not just with her body.
Yeah.
But there is a connection between the two. Mind and body, it's a thing for a reason.
100%, man. It's like, I think of it like, I have a 9-year-old son, and I think like, because I love my son so much, like I love him unconditionally, but because I love him so much, I want to see him grow. I want to see him do better. I want to help him with his mindset. I want him to develop more. I want him to like be like, in physical shape. I want him to exercise. I don't want him to just sit and play video games all day. And it's because I love him. If he got obese and he sat and played video games, I still love him. But because I love him so much, I would want to see better for him. And I think that's the disconnect a lot of people have. It's like, oh, I love you unconditionally. I love you so much. It's like, then show it, like part of a big love language for a lot of people is like showing the affection, and the best way for me personally to show me is like support my fucking vision, support my goals, and I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, let's just touch a little bit on vision, because that is one of the most important parts of the journey, right? Because, when somebody reaches out to us, the first thing is that, man, I really want to lose 20 pounds. Like, I would really like to lose 20 pounds because I believe that I will feel better once I lose 20 pounds.
Yeah.
But then you see that without noticing, they're putting a wall to their actual goal, to the actual vision, to where they want to go. What happens? I promise you, 99% of the time, when you lose those 20 pounds, you will still not be happy.
Yep.
There is going to be a lot more that needs to happen in order for you to feel fulfilled. Also, there are people who they don't lose the 20 pounds, but they have a complete mindset shift that will allow them not just to lose 20 pounds on the scale, but it's going to lose hundreds of pounds in their circle. It's going to help them lose all the pounds of stress that they have carrying on themselves, because they're not putting themselves in the first position. So that is why it's so important to understand the vision behind the goal. You don't want to lose just 20 pounds. You want to be able to make this journey of being healthier a lifestyle.
100%.
Because once you see that number on the scale, it's just a number. Like, the goal is not to lose weight. The goal is to change your life completely so you don't ever gain that weight again. And I mean, you agree with me, but just take it off.
Oh, no. No, I love that. It's so true, man. It's like I tell everybody all the time, you can, if your goal is only to lose weight, like, shit, we can help you lose fucking 50 pounds. That's fine. No problem. But you're gonna come back. I'm just not gonna lie. You're gonna come back because if you're still the same person, like, your identity hasn't shifted. It goes, it's like from the book Atomic Habits, right? It's like when you're thinking of like, they talk about like somebody who used to be a smoker, right? It's like there's two different types. I used to smoke like a pack of cigarettes a day. Now you could bring cigarettes in front of me. I'm like, get out of here, man. You stink. It's like, but the reason I got to that point is because, a lot of people, like, let's say like alcohol, for example, like people go to alcoholics. No hate by any means, you guys do whatever you need to do, right? But like, I think the reason I don't really believe in that kind of stuff is because if you always get these like little badges of like, oh, I've, 3 years sober, that means you're always attaching your identity to being that addict. You are always in your mind, you're an ex-addict. There's a difference between being an ex-addict and somebody who just doesn't drink. You know what I mean? Like, if you tell yourself, oh, like, I'm just recovering from alcohol, I'm 3 years sober, then every time you drive by a liquor store, you're still going to have the mentality like, oh shit, I really want. But if you're somebody, if you convince yourself in your mind, you fully believe, embrace that, hey, I just don't drink. Well, if you're somebody who's never drank, never touched alcohol before, every time you drive by a liquor store, you don't even think twice about it. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing when we're talking about weight loss. It's like, you can lose the weight. How many people, like, I don't think, like, I'd say 9 out of 10 of my clients before they've come to me, they've done a different diet before. They've already lost 20, 30, 40 pounds before, probably multiple times in most cases, right? But the reason is like they do these quick diets, they lose weight as quickly as possible, and it's only to achieve that number. It's only to, for their vacation or for going to with the wedding, whatever is going on. As soon as they've done that, then they immediately want to go back and resort to their old habits because they didn't actually change who they are as a person. They only changed the situation. They only changed the current direction. Like, you need to not just have this vision of like where you want to go. You need to actually, I have this on my Instagram right now, on my notes, actually. It's like, it's not about what you need. It's about who do I need to become, right? Once you become that new person, that's when you can actually make the sustainable change. And that's when you never have to resort back to dieting. You never resort back to any of this kind of stuff. And it's not about like, I tell clients all the time, it's like, I can teach you macros and I can teach you all this stuff in a month, like I can give you enough knowledge and nutrition and exercise that you could realistically get results on your own. But the reason that you stick around for a year, 2 years is because you need to become that person. I've taught you the education now, but now you need to implement it. Now you need to become the person that does this on a daily basis, that doesn't have to force yourself to go to the gym, right? And that's the big shift for a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's actually what you just said. I posted about her probably 2 days ago. If
Yeah.
somebody read all my posts on Instagram and actually applied to their weight loss journey what I'm posting, they don't need to pay me.
Yeah.
Dude, if people
A lot
read
of a lot of
if
a lot
people
of free
read
value.
posts, they will lose weight.
Yeah.
But it's not just about losing weight. Ernst Nightingale, this is probably my favorite Stoic of all times. In 1946, he found the key to success, which is the same key to failure, is that you become what you think about. A man or a woman become what they think about all day long, right? So in order for you to be the girl that's 20, 30, 40, 60 pounds lighter, you need to act like the person who is already 60 pounds lighter. So it's not that you're working towards a vision, you become the vision. You change, your surroundings, you change your habits, you change everything that you need to do in order to not just change the outcome, but become the outcome that you want to be.
100%.
Like before you become, you need to be it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what we don't teach. That's why this coaching that we do, you don't see that on Instagram because you will just scroll through the post. Oh, just another motivational shit. It's like, no, this is the truth.
Yeah.
This is the people that we coach have been successful after leaving the program understood their assignment, which wasn't just lose weight, but lose the person that I am and act like the person that I want to become. That's a fucking mic drop. I'm dropping the mic right there.
That was amazing. No, and that's exactly it, man. That's the big game changer for people. It's like when people come into our program, like I no longer have clients. We have athletes, we call them, right? It's like because you come in and if you're coming into my program, you're not just some like woman trying to lose weight. You're now an athlete. You're part of the Apex athletes. You know what I mean? So it's like and as an athlete, does an athlete miss going to the gym? Like, do you think if you're trying to go to the Olympics, you're getting ready to like train for the Olympics, do you think I even have to like remind you to go to the gym? Do you think I have to remind you to like make sure that you hit your calories, your macros? No, you just do it because you know that's the type of person you are. So it's about like fully embracing. It's like, you can sit and talk all day long about different knowledge and different education and all this kind of stuff. But if you're not somebody who actually believes you're that person, it's like if you want to lose 50 pounds, that's awesome. But guess what? I've had lots of clients that have lost that 50 pounds before. And because they don't have the vision of the type of person they want to become, well, you're going to lose your old life. That's like, regardless, your old identity is gone. You're everything that you've ever known, especially if you've been overweight for, your whole life, this is who you are, whether you want to accept it or not. Like this is, you've based your relationships, the way that you communicate with people, the things that you do for like social activities. Like there's a lot of things that you've like adjusted to be like to focus around the weight. So if you lose that and you don't know who the fuck you are as a result of it, well, then you're this person who's in this lost, you're confused. You don't know where you're going, right? It's like, I tell people all the time, it's like when we're thinking of it, like the analogy of like, going to a restaurant, right? Me and you are in the car, we're driving to a restaurant and I'm the cocky guy who doesn't want to use a GPS, right? Because I'm like, oh, I've been there once, I know where it is, right? So if I technically know where I'm going, man, I can go and drive around the same street over and over and over again. But what happens? We're going to drive around for 20 minutes and you're going to get pissed off and be like, dude, let's just go back. I know there's one restaurant. I know where it is. Let's go back. So you go back to what you know. You go back to what's familiar, right? But if you have that GPS, if you have the plan, the vision, you know exactly where you're going, man, you go there so easily. And then even if there is a little bit of roadblocks on the way, a little bit of struggle on the way, you still know that the GPS may, change your route, but you still know where you're going. So even though it gets a little bit tough and adjusts a little bit, you still know this is my end goal. This is the place I'm going towards, and nothing else matters at that point. A little bit of traffic, a little bit of roadblock doesn't matter because I'm still going to get to my destination, right?
Yep. And that's literally you just repeated Ernst Nightingale. You have two ships in the middle of the ocean, right? Yeah. One has a captain and a crew. The other one is the nicest ship ever, but it doesn't have a captain or a map. Which ship is actually going to make it to the harbor? It doesn't matter how old that ship is if it has a captain and it has a plan. The new one is going to crash. So how does this relate to weight loss, fitness and all the shit we do, right? A shiny object syndrome. Let me just try this new thing because it looks cool and Kim Kardashian is doing it. Sorry, fuck Kim Kardashian. This is just trying to sell you something, right?
Yeah.
Understand that what you need in this journey, if you're not, no, I'm not going to say, someone who has done this for several years at a very successful rate, you need to follow sustainability, attainability, and something that you actually enjoy. Because if not, you're going for that same shiny object thing that you saw on Instagram, you will fail.
Yeah.
You will, like Tyler said, you're going to keep going, like you're going to get lost because you don't know your destination. You don't have a plan. You don't know where you're going. And as long as you don't know where you're going, you will be in the same place in 2023, 2024, 2025, and you will remain there until the moment you realize, you know what? I need help from a professional who can actually guide me to where I want to be, teach me what I need to know in order to maintain the results, and then fuck off, get out of me. I don't need you anymore. You've taught me enough, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and going back to the spouse, like this is why it is so important, because it's like if you're sitting down and trying to talk to your spouse, like, okay, like, look, honey, like we're making these changes, this is what I want to do. If you don't know what it actually looks like for you, if you don't know how to improve your quality of life, you know how many times I've been in conversations with somebody and they're like, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds. I say, okay, that's awesome. Why? And they don't actually know why. And like, if you don't know why, then you don't have a good enough reason to actually do this. You're not going to commit to it. And if you can't even convince yourself to do this, you can't convince me to help you. For one, I'm not going to bring you on. But two, it's like, how are you going to go and talk to your spouse then? How are you going to go and get that support from them when you're like, again, okay, I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay, awesome. That is a very different conversation than being like, honey, listen, I got to be honest with you. I'm depressed. Every time I put on the clothes, I'm not feeling good. I'm tired of having sex with the lights off. I don't feel fucking sexy anymore. But I talked to this coach and I know that, 6 months from right now, a year from right now, if I actually stick to this, I see us being able to go on that vacation, being able to wear a bikini again. I see us being able to go on dates again. I see us being able to go feel confident enough to actually be able to enjoy ourselves again and be able to, I want to go on hikes. I want to have the activity. That's a very different kind of conversation than like, hey, so I want to lose 30 pounds. Let's connect there, right?
Yeah. So let's give our men a little bit of a slack. Girls, just communicate what you feel. Yeah. Don't just say, I want to lose 30 pounds because, you've tried it before and nothing worked. Like, change your vision. Know where you want to go. All right. So, dude, I think we've given enough value for today that we might need to save the rest for another episode.
100%, man.
All right, guys.
It's packed today.
Yeah. If you enjoyed the episode and you believe that this is helping you in some way, or this is going to help somebody that please, send us a DM, either Tyler or myself. So, also ask questions, how can we help you? Just ask away because we're here to help. We want to make sure that in some type of way we can impact your life in the most positive way that we can. And if you enjoy this episode and this little talk, we'll do it again for you guys only if you say that you enjoyed it. If not, we'll just shut ourselves up and, go on with our day. All right. So, Coach, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks so much for having me, bro. It was good talking, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep changing lives and, we'll talk soon.
Amazing. Yeah, thanks so much for having me, dude.
All right, brother. Talk to you later.